Good afternoon, good morning, Merry Christmas. It's time for a nice hot chocolate. It's snowing outside, 25 degrees minus. That's how we are used to it in Europe. I have Sujatha with me. My name is Sebastian, and we are just showing you quickly how to make a nice hot chocolate, how you would like it when it's really snowing outside. What goes well with it? What goes well with it?
With the spices, maybe we can add some spices.
We add some spices, some cinnamon. We have a liter of milk. We add some cinnamon to it, and some sugar, little sugar. Since we are using dark chocolate, we are using a bit of sugar and a little bit of cream to make it richer. Okay. And this we will all bring nicely to a boil, infusing slowly the milk with this.
Chef, I have a doubt. Is there anything healthy about this drink? Now, instead of sugar, can we use something different, organic or something?
We can use, well, the chocolate itself, since we are using dark chocolate is always a bit bitter for children. This might be a bit more problematic. You can use a milk chocolate. The recipe shows milk chocolate or dark chocolate. I used a little white chocolate with it to not make it so bitter. Milk, we have fortified milk. That is one thing which we can use. Otherwise, sugar, you can reduce sugar if you want. But
what about demerara, maybe? Brown sugar?
Yeah, we can use brown sugar. We could use brown sugar that we could use. That would be a nice idea as well. Okay, so here I have a little bit of starch. I have nice chocolate here. I have a little bit of starch which I'm going to dilute in the cold milk. So from my liter of milk which I'm using for the whole hot chocolate, the little bit I use to dilute my starch, and I'm going to just put the rest. It's exactly 1 liter. Okay, and now let's put the fire on. I'm not so eager to boil this very fast. Okay, this should have some time to infuse. Yeah, if you want to put a little bit of orange rind, you could put what else we could put? Maybe a clove.
Some grated nutmeg.
Grated nutmeg could be put. Yeah. So this recipe which I have here is actually a typical recipe which the Spanish use for their churros. Yeah. And the Spanish chocolate for their churros is a chocolate which actually the churros should nearly stand in it. Yeah, so it is a very thick chocolate. Now you want to have this a little thinner, you can make that, increase the quantity of milk, reduce the quantity of chocolate, no issue. The basic is all the same. You can play with the recipe as you wish. You can, gas is again off, I'm very sorry. Here we go. So you can play with the recipe you have in this video. Whatever is convenient. You can increase one type of chocolate, or reduce it. You can increase the sugar. You can use brown sugar. The process is what is more important. That you boil the milk and you pour the milk on your chocolate. Now I have this little chocolate chips. If you don't have this, you can use normal chocolate, the plate, and you just chop it a little bit on a cutting board, and then you would put it in your bowl, and you pour the hot milk over it and actually only dilute it. If you need to reheat that, you have to be very careful not to heat too much, otherwise the chocolate will burn. Okay, to make it a little thick, I use a little bit of cornstarch. Even that you can reduce or put or increase as how you want it, thicker or thinner, your chocolate. Yeah.
So traditionally you use starch as a thickener. Traditionally
we used a bit of starch as a thickener. As well, it depends probably. As well, it is a little bit of a question of cost as well. If you can thicken a little bit with starch, you can leave the starch out. You might need a little more chocolate. So again, this is the question of whatever you want there. Think of good chocolate. Hot chocolate is the recipe. Whatever you use, ingredients are more important. You use a good couverture chocolate, don't use compound. That is something which will definitely influence your good taste.
What about cocoa powder?
Cocoa powder can be used as well. You can use cocoa powder. In that case, you would dilute the cocoa powder in the milk with the spices, and then you would pour it on top of chocolate. Could reduce then the. There's millions of different recipes. This is one. This is one which is a bit a different one because of the technique of that. Otherwise, very often cocoa powder is used in a hot chocolate, and chocolate is used, of course, all kind of chocolates. Now we just have to wait for using starch. Please make sure before you pour the starch, you stir again. Very important, because the starch always going to sit down at the bottom of the bowl. And when your milk starts to boil, then we just stir this like this in. We give it a nice boil. That is very important. Give it a nice boil with the starch. Okay? That is very important, because if there is no boiling, then your taste of starch will be in the chocolate. Okay? Just give this a quick boil.
Now this is ideal for children. What about for adults? How can you make it a little more, I would say, challenging, or...
Well, I would definitely put some rum in there.
So some spirit to...
I would definitely put some rum or some brandy in there, or a nice whiskey. You see now it is boiling, and I'm going to just pour this chocolate in here and dilute the milk in the chocolate, and just dilute it nicely. Start with putting a little, okay? Make sure your chocolate is melting, and then you can add the rest. Afterwards we will take out the, actually, yeah. Okay, what we can do, we strain. Thank you, that's a good idea, to strain it right away. So our cinnamon and our spices, whatever we have, will be in there. And now I see here in the background some faces thinking of how they can make me give them some chocolate to try. So you can see this is really a nice
and spices, the
hot chocolate.
Spices also is floating.
Spices is there. Now I had actually told my colleague to put a bottle of brandy, but she was a bit stingy and she only measured it. I need that for the mullet wine. So let's put it here. A nice, see the quality, see the thickness. Now you imagine your fresh churros, and you can make it nice. Okay? I'll give you here a nice hot chocolate measure. I messed it up here, sorry. Good. That is our quick recipe of a nice hot chocolate. I pour it again so they can cut this out. We have this in our machine.
This won't come now. I'm just keeping it.
Okay, so nice hot chocolate, which you imagine now with your...
This is rich and devilish, I would say.
Rich and full. So that was it. Merry Christmas, and I hope it snows soon very much. Thank you, Sujatha.
Thank you.
Close-up shot of this.
Maybe some lovely marshmallows to go along with
Oh, that would be a nice idea as well, yes.
Thank you and
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you and Merry Christmas. Done. Hot chocolate number 1.